3-2 Yankees to the bottom of the 10th.
You could think of life as a collection of moments.
And the bases will be loaded here for Freddie Freeman. The Dodgers down 3-2 and down to their last out.
Almost all of them come and go without much consequence. But a small handful can end up defining your whole story.
Now, the kind of at-bat that every kid that plays baseball dreams of one day having. You tell yourself, right, all right, bottom of the 10th, bases loaded, World Series, one-run game. Reality for Freddie Freeman right here.
It's hard to say how you prepare for those moments. How the path you travel, the inevitable ups and downs.
Here's Freeman, bad ankle and all.
The good and the bad can help you embrace them and not let them overwhelm you.
No stranger to huge moments in his career.
But when one of those moments arrives, you only get one chance to get it right.
With the game on the line, Dodgers down to their final out.
One shot.
The chance to be a hero in Freddie Freeman.
One swing. And it's amazing how it can define your whole story forever.
When you're trying to build something, sustain something, it's all about the people. And there's just no better person than Freddie Freeman.
Are you Pete following?
Yeah.
That's my last name. That's my baseball number. You want to take a picture?
Yeah.
Let's do it.
There's something to who Freddie is and his body of work.
Welcome to the 2000 Hit Club, Freddie Freeman.
That allows for him to be successful just by being out there. Just the fear of when he's coming up in the lineup.
It is gone! Freddie Freeman home run!
His ability to hit, field, throw, the whole thing, he's a complete player.
Just start inching the trophy now. MV free, Freddie Freeman.
If you showed me a silhouette of his swing, I could tell you that's Freddie Freeman. You don't have to see the face. Unique, violent, steep. It's his fingerprint.
I think if you were to ask any player in today's game, like what trait would you want to have, it'd be Freddie's consistency.
It wasn't that he hit the ball harder, further, did anything necessarily better than everyone. He's just way more consistent than everyone.
Freddie Freeman doesn't just play baseball. He's mastered it. With 9 All-Star Game selections, 2 World Series rings, and a Most Valuable Player award, he's one of the most decorated players of his era. But spend some time with him, and you find out the accolades have never really been as important to him as the people, his teammates, his family. Baseball is supposed to be a game about numbers, but to Freddie Freeman, it's so much more.
I've gone through a lot in my life. I appreciate this game, what it's given me. Whatever I feel from the game, I just let it come out because it's given so much to me.
Probably about $12.
Here's the birthday boy.
Hi, Freddie.
No.
I grew up in Orange County, Southern California, born and raised.
Here comes Freddie.
Freddie, from the earliest age on, was the most competitive kid you've ever seen. He wanted to win everything. His 2 older brothers played baseball. That's all he wanted to do, is play baseball.
When you have 2 older brothers that are 3 years older and 6 years older, you want to do everything you can to be able to play with your brothers. They wouldn't let me play if I wasn't very, very good, so they kind of pushed me.
He's the youngest, so he's a mama's boy. He just wanted her around. all the time.
I love talking about my mom. If anybody asks me about Rosemary Freeman, that means we're doing a good thing.
And when he was playing baseball, Mom, can you come watch me take batting practice?
I was 8 years old. My dad's throwing me batting practice on the major field of our Little League. And she was walking our dog, Chip, beyond the fence.
And Freddie hit a ball. It was going towards Rosemary.
It hits this light pole, and it was like no more than like 3 feet from her, and it just hits it. And instead of her being like scared and that she almost got hit by a ball, she started jumping up and down because, you know, I just hit up my first home run over the fence. Unfortunately, we lost my mom when I was 10 years old. June 13, 2000, I lost my mom. She had melanoma, it's skin cancer. That's why I wear sleeves every game, just in remembrance of her. You know, it was really hard. Still hard to even talk about, even though it's been, you know, 25 years this year. Looking back, I was 10, didn't really understand. I only had 10 years with her. She's with me every day. I wear a necklace with her hair inside of a cross.
I can show you guys. This cross actually unscrews, and my dad put her hair into this cross.
I know she's up there with the best seat in the house watching me, and we'll be together again one day, but I wish she was here every second. I certainly do.
I don't think he's ever really got over it. I think he still thinks about her every day. After she passed away, he didn't want to do anything. After about 2 months, he brought me my glove. He said, "Dad, you want to play catch?" Then we did that every day.
Definitely losing my mom made us stay at the baseball field longer because it took our mind off things. It kind of forgot how much pain we were in for those 2 hours that we were on the baseball field, and then it just became our thing. We were just having fun and doing something we loved together, and we practiced every day from, I mean, he still throws me batting practice, getting ready for season. You just have so much compassion, so much awe of what he was able to do day in and day out, to mourn the loss of his wife and then still do his day-to-day and take care of us. Just, I always say, like, if I could just be half the man he was, I think my kids are in good shape.
The 2007 Major League Baseball first-year player draft.
Going into my senior year, you're told that you got a chance to go in the first or second round. Every game, you got 50, 60 scouts. They're talking to my dad, they're talking to me. The draft comes, and I get called in the second round by the Braves.
That night, like 2 in the morning, he comes into my bedroom, wakes me up. He said, "Dad, I don't want to play college baseball. I want to try being a professional baseball player." He was 17. And I said, I think that's a big mistake. He said, "I promise, if I'm not in the majors in 4 years, I'm going to quit and go back to school." I said, "Go ahead, you know, I'll let you get drafted."
Thankfully, my dad was very okay with me pursuing what I really wanted to do, because he could have easily have said, "No, you're going to college." And he was like, "No, if that's what you want to do, I'm glad for you, and go do it."
I go back to spring training, and I remember Bobby Cox, who didn't sing false praises at all, saying, "Keep your eye on this kid. This guy's gonna be pretty good."
This kid has tremendous instincts. His power is off the charts, although he's a line drive hitter. Plus, he's got the intangibles. His makeup is just off the charts as well.
I also remember it was Freddie Freeman and Jason Hayward. They were two peas in a pod. If you saw one, you saw the other.
2007, we got drafted. Jason got drafted in the first round by the Braves, and I was in the second. We lived together the whole minor leagues.
I know you guys are good buddies, so you got to give us the dirt on him. What's up?
The dirt? No, if I gave you the dirt, then we wouldn't be buddies, would we? It was a good time. We kind of like kept pushing each other in the best way possible. We had like a lot of funny moments, a lot of moments where we were like, all right, like this is what the minor leagues is about.
We were just so alike in so many ways. We had the same mindset, the same goals, the same aspirations. Jason actually started in big leagues in 2010.
Swing and drive! Roll to right! Welcome to the show!
It pushed me because I wanted to get to Atlanta as fast as I could.
Freddie Freeman, not yet 21 years old. He's here, and he's going to start tonight.
It's always an exciting night when one of your top prospects gets to the big leagues and makes his major league debut.
My dream of becoming a Major League Baseball player was actually happening. Just instant, like, this feeling inside your stomach, like, oh my gosh.
When he first came up, I was so nervous. My heart was always beating fast because I wanted him to do well.
Oh, look at that pick by Freddie Freeman at first. The kid can pick it.
I look at him and go, I can't believe that's my kid.
I was special in that, like, to go in there and see number 5. Number 5 means a lot to me. That's the number I was wearing when my mom died. I don't know how they figured it out for them to give me number 5 as a 20-year-old. That doesn't usually happen. You usually get the lineman number of like number 70 or something, but I was very appreciative of that.
And a line drive is into center field, the first hit for Freddie Freeman.
This guy was special from the first day he arrived in Atlanta. You knew it was just going to be a matter of time before he was going to cement himself into that everyday lineup.
And Freddie Freeman, the local kid, hits a solo home run.
Freddie Freeman using every bit of his 6'5" reach to get this out.
Grew up watching the Braves most nights.
Opposite field home run again for Freddie Freeman.
You just got this like good sense and feel around who he was as a player.
Freeman, a guy that the Braves have very high hopes for. Terrific defensively, and they think a lot of upside offensively.
You guys are just blowing my head up. Stop it.
No, it was wonderful.
He wouldn't wow you with his speed or athleticism or even flat-out power back then. He's the kind of guy, almost like a Cal Ripken, like the more you saw him play, the more you saw what a great baseball player he was.
I played well at the right time to be able to get to first base job in Atlanta, and I got to do it with my friends.
Those two young men on your screen, the Braves' future.
I had Jason, that was huge for me.
For Freddie and I, as young guys, we had things we could bounce off of each other. It's helpful to have somebody that I know, somebody that I've watched their bats, they've watched my bats. We're both left-handed hitters. We both essentially hit back-to-back.
Freeman has been huge for the Atlanta Braves.
He more than proved that he was ready when they made the call.
To go through it with your best friend and then having the older guys want you to succeed, I think that's why I was able to transition a lot easier than maybe some other guys did.
Freddie was just 23 in his 3rd year in the big leagues when he made his first All-Star team in 2013.
Freddie Freeman.
By then, he was well on his way to becoming the new face of the Braves franchise.
Gone for Freddie Freeman. Freddie Freeman with 5 RBIs in the first 2 innings.
Freddie Freeman is one of those players you build a franchise around. You hope when you draft someone, you draft a Freddie Freeman. Just the passion to be around baseball and play baseball, that's what you want your young players to be influenced by.
Big news out of Atlanta on this Tuesday. Freeman's deal could be worth around $125 million.
We're excited that we're able to keep one of the best young players in the National League of Brave for the next 8 years.
I felt so appreciated from the day I got into the big leagues. They just kind of grabbed on to me.
This is a team that I want to play for a long time. It's a team I just wanted to stay with. A lot of great players came before me. I hope I can just keep that winning tradition that they created. I haven't swung in a long time, so I don't know how to do it. Like that? Or, like that?
He's a better dad than I ever was, that's for sure. And it's what you hope your kids are. And he's by far the best dad I've ever seen.
Chelsea, and there's little Charlie. Freddie Freeman, what does this day mean to you?
It's a pretty special day. My wife actually made it even more special this morning. Cooked me my favorite breakfast. I met Chelsea actually in 2011, spring training. We started dating, and you just could tell how much she cared and loves not only me, but people around her.
When Freddie came at bat, Chelsea would focus on Freddie. She was praying. She was like this, you know. And I go, okay, that's the right one.
So we got married in November of 2014. Charlie came along in September of 2016.
Go, go, go! Yay! Ta-da!
Freddie and Chelsea would expand their family in 2020, 2 times over, with twin boys, Brandon and Max.
He'll do anything for his kids. You know, he'll come in at 2 in the morning from a road trip, and he's up at 7 o'clock or 6 o'clock with 3 boys, you know, getting them breakfast, doing whatever they want, spend all day with them.
Whoa.
Having 2 boys of my own, I feel like he's super dad, because it's not as easy as he makes it look to, you know, be a family man, then come in and go be Freddie Freeman.
As the 2020 season approached, Freddie was, by consensus, one of the best players in the game, and the Braves were coming off 2 consecutive playoff appearances. But then came COVID, and a shortened season that began with a disconcerting scare.
It started, as a lot of Freddie Freeman stories do, with some adversity, injuries. In this case, it was COVID, which he had really bad. I mean, he tells the story of sitting down and saying, please, God, don't take me.
My body was really, really hot, so I said, please don't take me. I wasn't ready.
That really took something out of Freddie, but he's back.
A 10-year veteran has just hit his first career Grand Slam.
He missed a lot of our prep time, but you know what? That's what champions do. That's what Hall of Famers do, is they fight through all that.
Freddie Freeman walks us off. Just start etching the trophy now. MV-free. Freddie Freeman in 11 innings.
The Braves and the Dodgers, this is the first time they're meeting with a trip to the World Series on the line. Freddie Freeman, who had a career year in many respects, albeit with a 60-game schedule, hits one into right, and this one is gone.
There's like a place that athletes can go when they face adversity or when things are just really hard and challenging. And Freddie just has a knack to being able to like dig deep within himself to find a way to be an incredible player.
And it's roped to right and deep, hooking to the corner, and gone! Freddie Freeman!
Despite Freeman's huge series, the Braves fell in 7 games to the eventual world champion Dodgers, though there would be a gratifying coda to his year a few weeks later.
And now it's an honor for me to announce the National League's most valuable player for 2020 is Freddie Freeman of the Atlanta Braves. Nice going, Freddie.
Thank you, Dale. We were in spring training in 2021. I had just won the MVP in 2020, so I had gotten all the awards, like Silver Sluggers and MVP and all that kind of stuff, Hank Aaron Awards. You name it, I had got it, but I said the only thing I don't have that Chipper has is a World Series championship.
So the stakes as 2021 began were clear. And the sense of urgency was augmented by the fact that it was the last year of Freeman's contract.
Nice play at first. Freddie's doing it all of late. That's 4 for 4 with 2 homers.
We just started playing really well at the end, and we were feeling like we were the best team. And we get to the playoffs, and we play the Brewers in the first round. We're doing well. We're up 2-1 at home, and I remember we were tied 4-4, and then I was able to hit the home run off of Josh Hader.
Going back at the wall. Freddie Freeman's left the yard and put the
is a dangerous, dangerous man. I've never seen him celebrate so much. What a legendary moment for number 5.
We were able to get past the Brewers and the guys that have always seemed to knock us out every single year since we started getting to the playoffs. It was the Dodgers.
And Freddie Freeman brings the thunder early here in Game 5. 2-0 Braves on a homer to right center.
You know, ultimately getting over the hump of beating the Dodgers, that was huge for us.
They have dethroned the 106-win Dodgers.
Getting to the World Series, first time since, but I don't even know.
And for the first time since 1999, the Atlanta Braves are going to the Fall Classic.
Welcome to the World Series. Thanks for stopping in. Who's got the first question?
What does it feel like to be in your first World Series? I'm assuming this has been a dream.
Yeah, this is what you dream about when you're a kid, you know, getting to the World Series.
3-2 pitch is hit high. And long gone by Freddie Freeman. 5-4 Atlanta.
I hit a home run in Game 5 and 6.
In what might be his last at-bat for the Atlanta Braves, he's just made it 7-0.
Hitting a home run is last at bat, and I always pay attention to where the ball winds up for that last out. And for that ball to be in Freddie's glove at the end was just so fitting.
0-2 on the way. Chopper out to Dansby. Dansby throws to first base. Is this happening? It is! The Atlanta Braves are world champions! Celebration going on the field, and folks, this is what dreams are made of.
So much. Goddamn, this 40 years.
After kind of a lot of the celebration and everything, he brought the last out ball into me in my office. Here, Brian, this is for you. And I thought that was pretty special, and I got it in my trophy case at home.
You know, to ultimately win a World Series with the team that gave you the opportunity to play professional baseball, to ultimately achieve that, that was so special to bring back a championship for Atlanta.
Thank you. We love you all. Champions forever.
All right, come on, Dansby. Dansby Swanson.
My re-sign Freddie mic drop moment.
It might get me in trouble, but re-sign Freddie.
Felt pretty cool doing it, but God's always got a plan. God's always got a journey for us that we may not be able to see in the moment.
Well, obviously, he was coming up on free agency. I had been talking to him, you know, the couple years leading up to it on what he was going to do, what he was thinking.
It's a month since the World Series. Has he signed? Did I miss that? If it's so obvious, if it's so inevitable, why hasn't it happened?
In November, we set up a Zoom call and pitched the Dodgers, and it kind of felt like a waste of time. It's like, we need to do this. We have to do this. But more than likely, we're just kind of lighting time on fire.
The whole thing was kind of crazy just because we got locked out.
The day of the lockout was Mookie Betts' wedding. And 9 o'clock Pacific time, we couldn't talk to players anymore. And so before the clock struck 9, Justin Turner, Dave Roberts, and I went outside from the wedding and called Freddie.
I'm calling him, knowing he has 3 young kids. It's late at night. I'm like, this guy's not going to answer his phone right now, you know? And sure enough, he didn't answer his phone.
And then all of a sudden, we're not locked out, and spring training is starting in like 5 days, and so everything was, we couldn't really talk, so it was just more of just kind of waiting.
And then once the Matt Olson trade happened.
Our top story, the Atlanta Braves and the Oakland A's pull off a huge deal. Going to Atlanta, Matt Olson.
They traded for Matt Olson, and I think that's when people realized he's not going to re-sign with Atlanta.
Once he became available, it was a full court press.
The Dodgers pounced on it and just really showed that they really wanted me to be a part of their organization. And I grew up 45 minutes from Dodger Stadium, so to be able to go back home and play in front of my family every single night, you know, I kind of jumped at that opportunity.
It is my pleasure to formally introduce Freddie Freeman. It's official.
Freddie Freeman's new contract meant L.A. would be home for at least 6 years. But after spending his entire career in Atlanta, the transition would be difficult, something one of his new teammates understood well.
You may know a couple guys, but they don't know your routine. They don't know how you like things. They don't know you. You know, it's just a lot. It's just really, you're here on an island by yourself and you have to figure out how to get to know everyone. We didn't really talk. Like, we were just in the same space, hit BP together. So I was like, you know, hey, Freddie, look, I understand the situation you're in. We don't have to talk. That's cool, but just know I'm here for you if you ever need anything.
Yeah, Mookie comes up to me, he's like, hey, I've been to a new team. If you need me, I'm here for you. I'm cool if you don't, you know, but I'm you know how Mookie is. He's like, just let me know. And so that was the start of our relationship. Mookie was my first guy that helped me get through this thing.
And once the season began, Freddie didn't have to wait long to see some familiar faces.
So many cameras,
As the Braves visited L.A. less than 2 weeks after opening day.
You know, I had so many great memories with the Braves and with those guys over there, so I'm glad it's happening now because I get to see the guys that I haven't seen anybody since the parade. Obviously, we're on different sides now, but the friendship is strong.
We've always been really close, but once he went to LA, our bond grew even more, and I think our appreciation for one another grew even more. You know, Charlie, just such a cool moment. It just brings you back, right? Just like what really matters in this game, being able to form relationships with players and their wives and their families, their kids.
You know, I got a job to do, and that's to help the Dodgers win the game tonight. So I'm going to do everything I can to do that. But it's going to be a little weird when I walk up to the box in the bottom of the first.
Freddie Freeman hits his first home run as a Dodger in his first at-bat against the Braves.
Some big smiles over in the Dodger dugout.
He was trying to endear himself with his teammates, the organization here with the Dodgers. But he just didn't have that closure, and he was trying to compartmentalize as much as he could and play.
I think once he went back to Atlanta, he was able to get that closure.
A very special and emotional night as Freddie Freeman finally back in Atlanta for the first time since becoming a Dodger.
Freddie is an emotional guy, and that's as emotional as I can remember him.
Give me a second.
Of course.
I don't even know if I can get through this.
It was a concept until it was actually a reality, to actually be there and be on the visiting side in a different uniform, all those memories.
Champion, Freddie Freeman.
The reception I got, and to be able to get my World Series ring on the field in front of the fans, it really was amazing.
He invested a lot in here. I mean, he was a Brave. He was born and raised a Brave. And there's something about that. This is a special place. This is a special organization.
You understand what he did for Atlanta and who he is as a person. And once he was able to shut the door on it, I think he really embraces LA.
Another opposite field hit for Freddie Freeman. Double number 46 and his 95th run batted in. His major league leading 191st hit.
In his first year in LA, he'd hit .325 and led the league in hits, runs, doubles, and on-base percentage.
A leadoff double for Freddie Freeman.
I think to have his family and his father at every game in Dodger Stadium really meant a lot to him. Almost like Little League games where you're surrounded by family. the comfort level was so high.
It is gone. Freddie Freeman home run.
Having some kind of year.
Polite clap from his buddy Mookie.
And in year 2 in Dodger blue, he lifted his game even higher.
Freddie Freeman hits this one to right, fairly deep, and it's ahead of Tucker. Freddie Freeman, the second best scores, and welcome to the 2000 hit club, Freddie Freeman.
There's certain years that are just special, and I obviously played really well in 2023.
That's Freddie's 40th double of 2023. 53rd two-bagger for Freddie Freeman, the most ever in a single season by a Dodger.
That's what makes him Freddie Freeman, the stat stuffer.
He's made the turn. He's going for second. It's a double for Freddie. That's number 59.
I just wish I could have got one more, but 59 is still pretty good.
The playoffs, though, would be a different story entirely. As Freeman and Betts combined for just one hit between them, as the Dodgers lost in the division series for the second straight year.
The Dodger offense in this 3-game series has been about as quiet as a shadow.
We knew how important we were in our team's success, and it wasn't like we were trying to go up there and go 1 for 20.
Struck him out. Back to back. He fans Betts and Freeman.
Two hitters that very rarely go out of the strike zone.
I'm sure that Freddie felt it, and that's part of being a superstar.
Freddie, during the regular season, you and Mookie were arguably the most dangerous 1-2 punch this franchise has ever had.
Yep, we didn't do it in 3 days. Not good by us.
I think we all put pressure on ourselves, but there is a lot of extra attention on our team this year, and rightfully so. Organization went out, front office, put together as the best team they possibly could, so it's obviously on us.
The pressure on the Dodgers externally was enormous in 24. When you make the kind of investments that they did, and there was a tendency for people to say, well, they won in 2020, but that was a shortened season.
Dodgers have won it all in 2020.
So it's really been since '88. Unfair to the 20 group, but in terms of public expectations, that was part of the narrative.
If the pressure was immense as 2024 began, the Dodgers and their first baseman seemed up to the task, with the club taking a 7-game lead over the Padres into the All-Star break. And Freddie Freeman playing as well as ever. In late July, the Freemans headed to Texas together to celebrate Freddie's 8th All-Star Game appearance, though some of the team was playing hurt.
We get to Texas, and Brandon and Max were really sick. Home run derby, we didn't even make it through the first round. They rallied for the red carpet. And if you saw us on the red carpet, you wouldn't think much of it. They were in the stands for the All-Star game. So we flew home after that game, and they're doing better, they're not as sick. We're playing the Red Sox to start the second half. I got off to a great start, hitting really well.
Rips one down the line. It's got a chance. It's a grand slam. Freddie Freeman.
So everything seemed to be fine, on the field and back at home, until Freddie and Chelsea noticed something strange with Max.
Max was limping and just had a limp, and he was saying, ouch.
He FaceTimed me and said, Dad, what's going on here? Max was walking, and then he'd fall down. I said, Freddie, that's not normal. I said, something's wrong.
We were told it was transient synovitis, which is like an irritable hip, and it happens when you get a cold, and it's very common.
Over the next few days, Freddie kept going to work, but Max wasn't getting any better. And then, in the middle of a game against the Giants, things got scarier.
I'm coming off the field in the bottom of the 8th, and Doc meets me at the steps at the end of the dugout and says, "You need to go home now." You need to go home now. Chelsea's taking Max to the emergency room. We were in the emergency room, and I was laying on the bed with him, and he was just laying on me, and they're doing all these tests. They're poking him with needles.
The doctors treating Max would confirm the original diagnosis, telling the Freemans Max could go home. He'd be okay. Freddie played the next day, a getaway game before a road trip.
And I called Chelsea after the game, and I said, "I just don't feel like I should be going to Houston." And they're like, "Well, we're good, we got it, you go do it." I fly to Houston, and I'm FaceTimed in the Houston visiting clubhouse, and the pediatrician goes, "I'm calling you an ambulance right now. I'm calling you an ambulance because I don't know if he's gonna make it." We go to the hospital. It's about 10 p.m. And I walk in, and I see my 3-year-old son on a ventilator. Ventilator, feeding tube. He had what's called Guillain-Barré syndrome. His immune system attacked his own nerves. They said if he didn't get to the hospital at night, they probably would have died. And so, you know, you're listening to that, and it's like, this kid was doing backflips six days ago, and now he's on a ventilator and a feeding tube and can't move anything in his body. And, you know, everything just else just, you know, kind of goes out the window. Thankfully, they had a plan where it's IVIG. And if IVIG is working, you'll start to see like a twitch, like his body. So that's, you're just staring at Max the whole time, just hoping like you'll see like a little movement. And then finally, you could see like a little twitch.
Max shrugged his shoulders, and that was the first movement he had for 3 days. And then we looked at each other. He's going to be okay. I mean, it was like a miracle.
Max Freeman spent 8 days in the ICU, fighting for his life. But now, he was on the road to a full recovery.
Tell you how good that felt was to be able to hold my son again. I mean, I'm here 9 days after, and it feels like a miracle. It really does. So I can't thank them enough, and it's heartbreaking. It really is. But you could see his smile again.
Dodger Stadium rising to its feet to welcome back number 5.
The fans, when I first came back from Max, they gave me a standing ovation. Something I'll never, ever forget. Again, I cried on the field. I cry on the field quite a bit, but it wasn't just the front office, the ownership, the players, the coaching staff. It was everybody in LA, like the whole city. It felt like we were just attached going into this thing.
When Freddie comes back, they just kind of wanted to show how much they were in it with their family. And that was a very, very emotional moment. That might have been one of the moments where Freddie was like, I'm a Dodger, you know, because I think he really felt all the love that he felt, you know, from the Braves fans for so long.
Well, Freddie Freeman's back. Swing and a miss. He's down on strikes.
It was a relief to everyone when Freddie Freeman returned to the Dodgers in early August. But he'd slump and ultimately finished the season with his numbers down from his first 2 years in LA. Of course, it didn't help that he was playing with a broken finger, which he'd suffered in mid-August. And in the final week of the season, things got even worse in a game against the Padres.
Over the bag at first, holding on to his ankle now.
I was trying to beat it, and Jake threw the ball kind of up the line, and Luis Ariz came off. So I tried to avoid Luis at first base, and as I turned, I landed, and my whole ankle rolled. I got down into the dugout, and then went into like our little training room down in the tunnel, and got my shoe off, and it's like a grapefruit already on the side of my ankle, and I was like, I gotta finish. You know, I think if anybody knows me, I was like, I can still play, I can still play, and they're like, you're not going back out there.
What he went through in really 2 months' time was just remarkable. The emotional toll of what his son went through was still there, and now you layer on top of that the physical toll of what he's going through.
That injury, I think, really checked him up, and he was scared. We're going into the postseason. He doesn't know if he can walk. That scared him.
We had 7 days till game 1 of the playoffs, and I was gonna do everything I could to get onto that field, and it was about 5 hours of treatment every day, trying to get it.
I was worried that he wasn't going to be able to go just because it was a lot.
Is this about as serious of an injury as you'll try to play with?
I would say, yeah. They told me this is a 4 to 6 week IL stint, and I'm going to try and do this in a week and play.
By the day before the Dodgers' first postseason game, he'd made some pretty good progress on the ankle. But then came an unexpected setback.
Before game 1 of the NLDS, I'm hitting in the cage. I was feeling like pain on every swing, and I was like, oh, I'm just gonna swing through it. And on the 13th swing, I dropped to the ground in the cage. I needed help getting out of the cage. I went to the MRI, and they told me I had broken my rib. It was a 6-week injury, 6 to 8 weeks. I would have been on the IL. So I said, can I try and play through it? They're like, you can try, we don't know. So that next day, Chelsea had to help me to the car because I couldn't stand up straight because of my rib. And then I got to the field and got it into a good enough spot to give it a go for the playoffs.
Freeman lumbers his way down there to first. He was unsure what it was going to be like once he got into the game.
That was just pure will.
He runs. There's no way. Throw down. He stole a base.
Not only was he coming back from a broken finger, not only was he trying to accelerate the rehab of an ankle, now you throw the rib on top of it. And the amount of time that he had to put in, it's mentally exhausting, it's physically exhausting. You're in pain, and just that combination was a lot.
Ground ball, base hit center field.
Now the pitch run for Freddie. You know his lower body is struggling as you see the limp.
The ribs were worse than the ankle at the time. We ended up finding out how bad the ankle was later, but his ribs, he couldn't even breathe. He couldn't sit, he couldn't breathe, and they were giving him numbing shots for his ribs so he could swing. And I told him not to play anymore.
He told me that was one of the few times in a long time since he was a child where his dad gave him one of those stern father-son talks and basically said, you need to quit, you need to stop, give this thing a rest.
Max Muncy came up to me and thanked me for telling Freddie he couldn't play. He said, we were worried with what was happening. And he said, we couldn't stop him, but when you told him to stop, he came in and announced, he said, my dad says I can't play today. Like a little leaguer coming in. So he didn't play for a couple of games, and then he said, Dad, they found a way to strap me up with tape on my chest that I can actually swing, and I don't need the shots, and I can actually swing a bat without too much pain. And so that's when he came back. He wasn't very good.
I had no stability on my swing. I was just rolling every time. That's why I was grounding out or swinging and missing so much, because I was just falling. My swing was so out of whack in the NLCS.
The amount of work it took to get him ready for a game, and then watching him just leave his heart and soul on the field, and then come back early the next day to try to put Humpty Dumpty back together again and rinse and repeat was inspiring, crazy, but it was one of the greatest acts of determination I've ever seen.
There's a bouncing ball to second. Taylor's got it. Los Angeles is alive, and they're headed to the World Series. Dodgers-Yankees in the Fall Classic.
I had a week off, thankfully, between the NLCS and Game 1 of the World Series. So I had gotten all my injuries in a good enough spot where I felt confident. So I essentially had a week of treatment, just treat. And essentially got it in a good enough spot where I was able to work on my swing, because my swing was so out of whack.
In the CS, he was like, I can't find my swing. I can't get off my swing. He was pouring himself into it and working hard and, getting after it. And then he had that moment where he's like, I got it. I'm good.
I remember watching him hitting the cage, and I just asked, Freddie, how you feel? And he's like, my swing feels good. And I was like, well, I don't care about how your body feels. If your swing feels good, we're good. Very rarely does he say his swing feels good. But when he says it, he means it.
Batting third, first baseman, number 5, Freddie Freeman.
Game 1, we're getting announced to come onto the field. The first time I run since Game 5 in the NLCS. And I'm jogging to give high fives to everyone on the line, and I was running. I was like, whoa, I actually feel all right. I'm doing okay.
Freddie Freeman's back in the lineup for the Dodgers. Breaking pitches, punched by the bag and down the left field line for Freddie Freeman. Going to test that ankle right away. He'll cruise into second and think about 3 as Verdugo can't play it cleanly. Already talk about testing the ankle in a big way.
Everyone goes, I can't believe you had to hit a triple in your first at bat. And I said, I'm actually thankful that I did that, because I hit the ball down the line and I'm running, and my ankle is actually doing as good as it possibly could. And then I slid into third and stood up, and I was feeling good. So it's almost like a freeing sensation of okay, my injuries, I'm good. I'm going to be able to do this.
3-2 Yankees to the bottom of the 10th. And up comes Gavin Lux.
Bottom 10. Luxy gets on with a walk. Tommy gets a base hit. Shohei comes up, but they bring in Nestor Cortez.
So here we go. What an opportunity this is for Shohei Ohtani, and he's got a chance to be the hero.
First pitch, Verdugo makes an amazing catch in left field.
What a play by Verdugo! You now have Mookie Betts coming to the plate.
First of all, I was thinking, oh good, Mookie's up. And Freddie doesn't have to get up. That's what I said, Mookie's gonna win this thing. I don't have to worry about it. And then they intentionally walk Mookie, and I go, oh no.
And the bases will be loaded here for Freddie Freeman. The Dodgers down 3-2 and down to their last out.
I had already had my plan. I had already watched Nestor on video, and I kind of came up with my approach in that at-bat.
Man, do these folks love it.
My game plan my whole career is to look out over and hit balls to left center. That's just what I've always done. And I was like, you know what? I'm not doing that this time. I'm going against the grain. I am going to look in. And I'm going to look dead red fastball in and be on time for that heater. So that was my game plan.
I was so nervous. I was so nervous. I wanted him to do so well.
Edman at second, Betts at first, Cortez out of the stretch.
Usually in big situations like that, the suspense builds. Like it gets to 2-2 or 3-2 count. This was just immediate.
The scenario you dream about, Freddie is living. First pitch swinging, high fly ball, hit deep, back and
And thankfully, he threw it right where I was looking. I swung and the ball hit my bat. I knew I flushed it.
I saw him hit it, and as soon as he hit it, I knew.
I didn't have Grand Slam. I didn't go that dramatic, but it was incredible.
I've never pimped a home run. I've never done anything. I've always hit a home run, just run around the bases. But walk-off Grand Slam in the World Series. I walked and put my bat up, and everything that happened, it was almost like perfect. I blacked out. You know, we always wave to our bullpen on home runs. So you usually wave, but as I'm looking over into our bullpen, it is not a waving moment. They are going absolutely nuts down there. So that's where the flex came. But all the emotions came out. It was a long 3 months for the Freeman family. Yeah, everything just kind of came all out and that run around the bases.
It was like exultation. You know, it was just pure joy and happiness and just letting it out of his body. I was just in awe of what happened. And it was the most amazing baseball moment I've ever seen. He ran to me afterwards, and I think he wanted to headbutt me, but the net was there, so I'm glad he didn't. But we kind of high-fived each other, and he just yelled. I mean, he didn't say anything. And that's when I thought, oh, that's my son that just did that.
You ran over to your dad after hitting that home run.
Yeah.
What did you say to him?
I was just screaming in his face. I'm sorry, Dad. Yeah, he's been there since I was a little boy, throwing batting practice to me every day. So this isn't my moment. That's my dad's moment.
Seeing his moment with his dad, just the comments he had after of like, this wasn't my moment, this was my dad's moment. Like, he fostered this love of the game for me. He built my swing. He threw me endless amounts of batting practice. Like, just all of it was incredibly touching.
So cool that he could have that moment too. That he could see his son do something like that. He always says it's me, but I'm like, I would never have had that moment if it wasn't for him, like if he didn't love baseball, if he didn't want to take me to the field to throw batting practice to me every day, like none of this would have happened. And for him to be in that front row and to see that happen, I just wanted that moment with him. And I know it was in front of everybody, but in my mind, it was just me and him.
I wasn't expecting that, that's for sure. But as a father, I think that's what everybody wants, is connections with their sons.
It wasn't just that he hit a home run to win Game 1 of the World Series. It was who hit it, what he had gone through in the previous 3 or 4 months that led into that at-bat. And then you had also the synchronicity of the way it matched up with the Gibson home run in 1988. I mean, it was freaky how similar they were.
Freddie Freeman channeling his inner Kirk Gibson. A walk-off home run in Game 1 of the World Series. High fly ball into right field. She is gone.
The fact that it was virtually the exact same time of the night. The fact that it goes into the same part of the right field pavilion at Dodger Stadium.
Meet Freddie.
There are certain home runs in the World Series that transcend the scoreboard and the situation, that just become almost cultural, iconic moments.
I don't believe what I just saw.
The Kirk Gibson home run. It was only Game 1 of the World Series. Didn't win the World Series, but you think about 1988, it's the first thing that you think about. The home run Freddie hit was one of those home runs.
Cortez delivers. Freeman. Oh my God! Oh my God! Oh my
God! That night, I think we watched replays till 3 in the morning. And there were so many people that were putting on YouTube where they were in the stadium and watching everybody jumping around and rejoicing.
Charlie and I kind of went down a YouTube rabbit hole of the Grand Slam, and the reactions, having that moment with Charlie and seeing just pure mayhem on these videos of people going nuts and how excited they were. I was like, whoa, like this meant so much to so many people. That's when it started to really hit me that you created something for people that will last forever for them. It was almost like I gave back to how they treated our family, and I was able to just create some happiness and joy. Because I was leaving my sick kid, my family, and coming to a job, and they were helping me when I was there to get through each day, and then to be able to repay them in a way.
So after that, I said, we really have to win now. The Dodgers have to win. I know it's sort of selfish because I wanted my son's moment to stand, but that's all that I was thinking of. We need to win this.
It would have been 41 days since Freddie Freeman last homered before he stepped to the plate in the 10th yesterday. Hit that grand slam. Launches this ball, right field. He's found the seats again.
Someone asked, like, are you going to hit it again? I said, I don't know. I would love to, you know, but I don't know. And then boom.
For a third straight game in this World Series, Freddie Freeman goes deep.
Incredible. Had not homered in more than a month, and he's homered in all 3 games.
For him to do this on the biggest stage, to come through like that time and time again, just amazing.
Freeman cracks one deep to right field, and gone again! 4 games,
this? You gotta be kidding!
Hitting a home run in each of the first 4 World Series games, we'll never see that again. And it's historic. We'll be talking about Freddie's 2024, forever.
Freddie Freeman floating in the World Series!
Walk-off grand slam in game 1, and then another home run in game 2 and 3 and 4. I joke that, we're in Los Angeles and movie producers, and I think if someone would have pitched this story to them before October, they would have said, this isn't realistic. Like, we can't produce this movie. Like, that's crazy. That's too far.
In fact, Freddie had now homered in 6 consecutive World Series games, going back to the 2021 World Series. And though the streak ended in Game 5, he still delivered in a massive moment.
Into center field, a base hit. 2 more runs will score.
It was an historic, even magical Fall Classic performance. And it led the Dodgers to the World Series title.
Start the party, Los Angeles! Your Dodgers have won the World Series!
This one's a little different just because this one was so trying. It was just so much adversity and so much overcoming adversity that when you win the whole thing, it's just like, oh, this is incredible. And just the organization and how they treated us during Max's hospital stay and afterwards, that's what made winning so incredible.
How does she feel? Oh, she feels good.
As we're standing on the dais,
I couldn't ask for a better year. Holy cow. Woo!
As they're going to announce the World Series MVP, it wasn't just the feelings that overcame me, it was everyone on there. And just how emotional from everyone seeing what he had gone through that month, that year, was storybook and incredibly touching.
It's been a grind these last 3 months, but this organization, Stan, Andrew, Brandon, Doc, my teammates, my family, it's been a lot.
And then Max is obviously doing better in the end of October. He's walking and doing everything, so that's why it was so satisfying.
To share these moments with family, knowing that Max was okay, that had to be so gratifying. Seeing the Freeman family on the field after the game. Again, almost like Little League back in Orange County. Nothing had changed much. The same father who threw him buckets of baseballs.
Can he throw BP? He can throw BP. He still throws the BP. That's how I get ready for every year. He still is throwing me BP.
It's all interconnected now, coming full circle. It's a storybook story.
In the biggest moment of Freddie Freeman's career, he came through in the biggest way possible. A dream finish to a trying season. In an incredible baseball story that's still being written.
Freddie's son, Charlie, throwing out the first pitch. Special day for the Freeman family.
There should be a lot more hits. Maybe even more World Series titles. And it seems destined, the culmination of it all, someday in Cooperstown.
Freddie Freeman is well on his Hall of Fame highway. I mean, just the accolades, the awards. He's right there with first ballot Hall of Famers.
Oh no, he'll be a first balloter. I mean, he's gonna be one of the greatest players to ever play the game.
Freddie's gonna be Freddie each and every year. He's gonna put up his stats. And so I think the next thing will be his Hall of Fame speech.
As I'm getting toward the end of my career, people are talking about the personal stuff. But the one thing I do care about is, was he a good teammate? That's what I try to do every single day.
I think most people realize that he's a good guy. And I think that's what he hopes that's what he's remembered for, is being a good guy. Because he really loves his teammates.
I really just appreciate Freddie just because no matter how good or bad or whatever a situation is in my life, he's always been there to talk to me. He's always honest with me. Whether I like it or don't like it, he helps me with baseball, he helps me with my wife, he helps me with everything. You know, he's just a genuine friend.
Anytime you can do something with your brother like this, it's always special.
Well, congratulations to
You cry, you know? I'm emotional too. God darn it.
Whenever you talk to people about former players, it's not usually about, oh, he was a good player, is this, is like, was he a good dude? So I've always made it a point to try and treat everybody the best I possibly could, because like when I'm 50 and one of my old teammates is coaching and you have a young player that goes, hey, how was Freddie? And I want it to be, he was an awesome teammate. That's all I care about.